Got it. Okay. Yeah, so I might edit this. I actually have our front end developer working on some of the edits to the bottom of this page. But yeah, basically from the dashboard, people will be able to find this page, and it does go to a Google Sheet for me to be able to review. And yeah, it's really exciting. So spotlighting on the calendar, banner ads on the DApp, obviously spotlighting on the calendar is going to be like kind of date-based. Banner ads can go, for any kind of project that wants to be seen on Vetter. Live AMAs, we're going to be, as you guys know, working with the large Telegram group again, obviously taking it one day at a time once we start. But we're actually going to be doing AMAs and introducing the community to projects that will be given spotlights in that Telegram group. So that will be exciting as well. Other partnership ideas, so opening, the door to other partnerships like I shared with you that have been just like other developing projects all throughout other networks coming to Vetter, wanting to collaborate, really appreciating the community. We were in a meeting yesterday with a project that's coming up to launch, and they're a super solid group of guys. And they had said that the community that they're going after has Vetter, and they just said Vetter has such a solid, good reputation, and they wanted to partner with us. So there's a lot of that happening, and obviously we're not rushing into anything. We're really, very mindful of this process, but it is happening and it's underway, and it will be happening more and more. We are still just like 3.5 months old, so. Pin post in the large Telegram group. So that's another aspect of course, people being able to promote a project in the large Telegram group with a pinned post. I really liked the ticker idea, which is kind of a text banner. And if you go to BSC scan, there's just a really simple at the very top left when you go to BSC scan. Anytime you're on it, you'll see text of a project and then just a really simple blue URL link that goes to their website or wherever they want to take you. So I really liked that idea of just something super simple that can be shown on the DApp anywhere in the DApp. We can have, multiple areas, obviously not overwhelming the DApp with ads, but it's sometimes really cool to be able to find like a really good project. I mean, obviously that's what Vetter's here for, right? To be able to showcase projects that are happening that people want to know about. Why not? Why not feature really great projects? Featured video on the DApp. So this would be to replace the video area on the DApp, which is possible for people to have. Obviously, they'll have to pass through criteria to have their video there. And I'll be able to kind of have this checklist and meet with them and understand and obviously watch their video and know that it's something that we want to put in front of the community.
Robin, really quick, are we going to share the cost of these things on this page?
So I have it here right now, and
okay, good.
I just
go ahead and continue. I didn't know that was already there. That's awesome, because I know, like, I think
it just happened.
I think it was Ryan, and there's some others that already have people that would like to refer into this. And just for people that don't know, you're going to be able to get a commission. What is the commission that we're paying for people who refer those that are launching tokens that end up
40%?
So 40% commission. Okay, awesome.
So now whatever we receive.
That's subject to change. That's subject to change in the future, but right now it's a generous commission. And again, this benefits Vetter, guys. For those that don't get it, this is a part of marketing. This is the hard part of marketing. This is the part of marketing that you don't see other projects doing, and it doesn't bring in more revenue for them. It doesn't bring in more collaborations for them. It doesn't build their, build their number of eyeballs on them. And that's why they fail. You have to
Yeah.
understand, we could just turn on ads and have that be our only marketing, and then we run out of our ad budget and it would be over. And that's what most projects do. So you just understand that, yeah, we're turning on ads, we're having our update on February 1st, but these kinds of things are the high level marketing that is what makes a project succeed. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll just finish up. So the sponsored hot list, I really liked that because it's basically going to be like a pinned to the very top of the hot list. There's other cool sites that do this. I forget which one specifically, but ours will, it'll have a separate color. So it will be obvious that it's,
Can you go to
not,
the DAP really quick with your
yeah, let
screen there and
me,
just kind of show people which section we're talking about there?
the hot list here.
So for those of you that missed the first business partnership call, it's going to be helpful for you to know this. If you are out there networking or in Telegram groups, or you hear about projects launching and you end up referring them into this form, and you're identified as the referrer, you'll get the commission, for helping bring that, about, even though all you did was just refer them here.
Yeah. And I can, as we get in flow with everything and have, the YouTube videos done, and I feel really good about all that in process with the marketing, I'm available to connect with you guys to support you, in helping you bring on people. Cause I know, one guy brought in 2 projects already. And when I spoke to one of the guys, he was just like, oh, I think it's LDX 100X or something. I forget the name. He was saying, oh, one of your vetters on the platform spoke super highly of you. And so we obviously want to reward you guys for doing that, because it's pretty wonderful to have that kind of skill where people, trust your word and trust what you're sharing as well out in the world. So yeah, the hot list, it would be pinned to the top, but it would have a different color, so it would make sense.
And so you guys would know that was a featured project, and which we want you to know when something's featured on here, which ones are featured and paid for and which ones aren't.
And then, yeah, there's lots of helicopters on the beach.
We don't hear it, or at least I don't.
Oh, you don't hear the helicopter?
No, I don't anyway.
Oh. And then, marketing and development consulting, there are projects coming to me wanting to receive support with that. And it is a process, because obviously that, that's something separate. But if any of you were to bring business to the project, we, at this time are paying a really nice percentage. Most finders fees, when I worked in the wellness industry, I would get 35% finder fee anytime I brought business to like Whole Foods or a company like that. So 40% is like above average.
We need to clarify something. That doesn't apply towards like consulting per hour services type thing, right? The 40%. So you might want to make a note there. That excludes the marketing consulting, anything consultative. It can't be a 40% fee, because that's paying for.
I'm gonna have Chris. I'll have Chris edit that now.
Yeah. But everything else, and if you just real fast want to point to the cost, just for those that are going to be referring people in, so that they know, what commission they would be getting if they refer someone in here who ends up purchasing an ad, or getting featured on the DAP or whatever.
And I'll do a video soon and kind of share more. I just had this added yesterday. So the full horizontal bar on the DAP at the top, this is $1,500 a week or $250 a day. So we wanted to give an opportunity to give a little discount for projects that want to, lock it in for a week versus just a day. And we'll be doing some in-house designs, but it will cost more. And, if people don't have the option to hire a graphic guy, or or a person that does imagery on their team. So that would be extra, and it's super time consuming. So that live AMAs in the large group, right now we're charging 6,000 for an hour. We also are going to be wanting whitelist spots. And it does include a pin post the day of the event. And it's going to be for additional pin posts, $350 for each post. We want to max it out one per day, so it's not just like super overwhelming with a singular project all over, hour by hour, minute by minute, but it's, maxed one a day. And obviously the team will work with time zones and all of that kind of thing to promote.
So Robin, I'm trying, we're going to have to end this in 3 minutes and move on to
Oh
the question
yeah,
and
yeah.
answer. So, guys, I just apologize. Like, it's going to take me a little while to figure out how to organize things. So we have these really short sessions and it always covers everything we wanted to, but we're going to stick to it as best we can. I know we got a late start today. I know it's choppy right now as we try to figure out how to do that. We're just doing so much and it's going to take a little time to get it perfected when we're doing so many sessions. So we will wrap this up in a couple of minutes and move to question and answers for support. But for those that came here for business partnerships and stuff, just note that there's a referral place now. We talked about that before. What if somebody sends somebody here and what's the incentive for the person to enter them? First of all, what do they enter into for us to know who referred them? Their name, their username? Do you have a
So right
recommendation there?
now, yeah,
And quickly,
I
because
need
we really wrap
to
up
talk
in 2
about
minutes.
kind of building in that, but right now, I'm getting people who put someone's Vetter username,
Better username?
so
Okay.
I mean, what I would say, if people are comfortable putting your real name, then that's fine. What I would do is I would actually
We just need to know who
connect
you are.
with
So
you.
tell them to enter in the referral and you guys give them whatever you think we need. We just need to know who you are so we can give you the commission. And then
Yeah.
the other thing I wanted to mention is we're going to set this up so that it's a regular affiliate type system where they won't have to enter that in, and you'll just give them your link and we'll automatically know it's you. We're just getting this thing going. Some people have already started referring people into this and they've been putting their referral name identifier there just in the interim until we get it more automated. But what is the incentive? What's the we said there'd be a discount to those who enter in the referral name just to motivate the person that they're sending here to actually enter that in. What was that incentive that we decided to do?
What was the incentive?
Yeah, if you referred me here and you said, don't forget to put Robin in the referral area to
Mhm.
motivate me to do that, you get to say you'll save 10% on the costs of whatever you decide to do with them if you do that. But was it 10%? I couldn't quite remember exactly what it was. Does anybody remember? Can you unmute
I
and share with us,
don't
guys? Sorry, I forgot
remember
what
that.
the incentive was.
Sorry.
I thought it was 20, but I'm not 100%
20%.
sure.
It could be 20. Again, this is just in the interim. I don't really care at this point because we're just setting it up. So does someone want to confirm 20? Want a second 20? It could be 20%. Let's do 20%.
I believe it was, Mike. I believe it was 20%.
Okay, so to motivate, incentivize the person you're referring here to remember to write down your identifier and enter it into the referral area. Let them know they'll save 20% if they're getting featured in front of our community. And again, guys, we'll automate it. So pretty soon you guys will all have a link who want to do this and you just give them your link and it will automatically know and they won't have to enter anything in. That's coming. So we're going to go ahead and wrap this portion up.
Awesome.
Any questions or anything? I'm sorry, guys. Like, I know that we're cutting a lot of these sessions like so short. And it's just because I'm trying to train myself to get into this mode of having topics that are covered in certain periods of time. I'm going to get better at it. There's just so much that we're trying to move forward fast on. Does anybody have any questions on this business partner expansion?
Mike, this is Sarah.
Yeah, go ahead, Sarah.
I have a quick question. I
Yeah.
wish we could all just talk all day. I seriously look
know,
forward to
right?
this every day. So I had referred a token over before that referral link was in there. Who can I contact to see if anything happened with that? It was a pretty cool one.
You referred a token for what purpose?
They wanted to collaborate with Vetter, like I actually had a pretty long discussion with them.
Yeah, no,
And
you sent them to this link,
to
correct?
the link, but
Yeah.
it was before there was any
A form.
referral link in there. And so
Okay.
I don't know if anything cool has happened with
If you
that.
if you send me a Telegram for me is the best, especially if it's you guys. The best way in that process is to just say, hi, it's so and so with the community, just so I know that you're not a spammer, because I get that a lot too. So just, remind me, your name, your Vetter platform username, that you're with the community, and then just tell me what what you want to share, and then I'll be able to figure that part out.
Great. We
yeah.
have an open chat in there, and it's my pony in there. So I'm
I
messaging
I
right now.
do know that we've connected, so yeah,
Thank you.
I just get so many messages from people like wanting to talk, and it helps if you guys just say like, hey, it's so and so from the community, just so I'm like, oh, okay, I'm gonna read this.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. And Papa for Prez just posted this with text. He says, I'm late to the call, but just an idea on this topic. Joint ventures might be a good idea too, in exchange of exposure to each token's audience, bright future ahead all. Yeah, absolutely. The only thing I would point out there, like we're definitely open to those kinds of things, but I will put out there, we are definitely a bigger, stronger community than most, and so we just want to make sure it's a fair exchange, right? So if we're doing like a joint venture or something, and they have a community, and they're maybe going to introduce us to their community, and we do the same for them, I just want to point out, like, it does need to be an even exchange, but it's exactly the kinds of things we're looking for. We're doing all of this mainly, guys, for marketing, not just to bring in revenue. Although you do, as I said earlier, want to build revenue streams if you want your project to continue. That's the mistake that most of these other projects are making, and why you see them just go belly up, because the people behind them don't have business experience and don't know how to do that. But an even more compelling reason why I put this as a priority is because all of this, and Papa for Prez just kind of got to the point as well, all of this increases exposure. Like whenever you have a group of people who are incentivized and paid a referral commission for referring in leaders of projects, developers, marketers to us, who have spheres of influence, and we do good work for them. We help bring exposure to their project. Maybe it's as simple as they pay a little bit and get featured on our platform. They're learning about the platform. These are influencers in the community. This is smart marketing. This is the type of marketing that when people say, when are you guys going to start marketing? They have no clue what marketing is, and they don't see that we're doing the highest level forms of marketing that require business experience, technical development, communication skills, all kinds of things that most of these projects just can't bring, that will put this Vetter platform on the map in a big way. All of these things that you see us doing are a part of marketing. Yes, advertising is getting kicked on. We're going to have an update on the initial process for ads, on February 1st. That's going to be an important piece, but it's the least impactful part of successful marketing that's going to make this project big. This is a big part, and there's many things that you've seen us do that are marketing. Any other questions? This is now open to questions on anything that we'll do for another 25 minutes. So support questions. I think we still have Jeremy here who can help on the tech type stuff if people are struggling with something, or questions on this. We can now have questions on this business partnership expansion. Any questions at all, feel free to raise your hand and chime in. I do want to ask you guys a question. And by the way, Robin, someone's asking if you can post the link in the chat, the link to the form, so they can.
The spotlight page.
Yeah.
Sure.
But I have a question for you guys. Last time we had the business partnership expansion call and we kind of introduced this concept, was there anything specific I said we were going to do on this next call? Because I didn't have it in my notes. I know there's a ton for us to talk about and go over, and I had just written down, that we're meeting again today on this topic. Did I miss anything? Was there something specific we were going to do today on this topic that I've missed? Or was it just a continuation? Because as always, there's lots to dig into. Let me know if,
Um,
go ahead.
Hi, Mike, it's Kevin. I
Kevin.
think you said that service, I believe Robin pretty much just did that. All the services you'll be offering.
Okay, good. That's what I thought. Okay.
Was
Awesome.
there anything that she didn't mention that is coming, or was everything in that drop down list basically?
I mean, there's more we can probably expand on some of those things, like what the marketing consulting is going to be about. But I don't think we have to get into that today. I mean, just so you guys know, part of our marketing for Vetter platform, and soon also VPAD, which is part of the same ecosystem, part of putting this all on the map in a big way, and is to position ourselves as service providers to the leaders and influencers in the industry, and particularly those projects that have the same vision, for integrity, efficacy, trying to be accountable to, developing something of value in the marketplace to make, DeFi a better place. And things like this are, a major move in that direction. And the marketing consulting will be something that we foresee, putting us in a position to, for example, partner with projects that might open up whitelist spots, or even private sell opportunities for other projects that maybe we're not a part of developing, but that we're a part of marketing consulting on, things like that. If they're very good projects. This is all leading also towards finding the best projects to launch on the VPAD platform. And by the way, guys, I know a lot of people just don't understand, even VPAD is the highest form of marketing for Vetter. And all I can say to those that don't see that or don't get that is just watch. They watch what real marketing can do. So on what is the date of that next call? Tuesday. I wanted to get this on your calendar if you missed it. Jeremy, why am I not seeing this on my calendar? This is odd. Hold on one sec, guys. Did we decide that the VPAD?
We had mentioned it was going to be out a week, and we talked about doing that on Tuesday, but we haven't actually set it on the calendar yet.
Right. So, okay. Yeah, I got it here. My phone was buggy. So 6 p.m. Pacific, if you don't have this on your calendar yet, guys, 6 p.m. Pacific, Tuesday, February 1st, we're going to have like a 10-minute call so that everybody, even short on time, can either catch it live or catch the replay right after and be in the know first about all of the details of the VPAD launch. Again, I'm calling it VPAD, the private cell launch, VPAD, even as the name of the launch pad, even though that's not going to be the name of it. We're not going to want to get the name out until the very last minute so that other projects can't steal the name, put up a token, put up a Telegram group, pretend they're us and scam people. So we're going to make that as difficult as possible. So we're going to call it VPAD. I bet you're going to see a bunch of projects with the name VPAD come out. So just know it's not going to be called VPAD. But anyway, we'll call it that for now. On this Tuesday, 6 p.m. Pacific, write that in your calendar. If you can make it, it's just going to be a 10-minute, information packed, all the details you need call. And then we'll open it up to Q&A. So it'll go longer than 10 minutes, but if somebody only had 10 minutes, they'd get all the details we have. Then we'll have a follow-up discussion, Q&A after that 10 minutes. And if you can't catch it live, you can catch the replay, but I would encourage you to be there live, because the more you know, the sooner you know it, the greater advantages you have. As you guys know, when Vetter launched, the initial, excitement and huge returns, it got to close to a 40x, 40 times your money. So, some people in Vetter had 2 wallets with 15 BNB who were in the private sale. 2 wallets, 15 BNB. So that would be 30 BNB. And that went to 40x. Like if let's say they sold it at a 10x, which it held for 6 weeks straight, which is very rare, by the way, extremely rare. 10x. So that churned their initial BNB, which would be a total of 30 for them, into 300 BNB. It was at 20x a lot of times, like not just briefly, but many times for plenty of time. That would have turned 30 BNB into 600 BNB. And of course, it was close to a 40x at its highest. It's huge. And, even at its lowest, at a 3x, it's never been, much lower than a 3x ever. And that was our first project, and it was rushed. Imagine, with a bigger project, and this will be a much bigger project, and one, that with experience under our belt, and one that we have plenty of time to develop properly. It's going to be a monster project, and all of you guys will have an opportunity to be in the private sale. So look for that Tuesday. Now, I do want to speak, and we'll open this up to questions, random questions, any questions at all. I do just want to say, because I know there's a lot of people who are like, you should be focusing on Vetter. It's like, guys, those that think that way, you got to understand it's marketing. Like, to develop collaboration, it's the highest form of marketing that most people who lack the business skills and experience can't do in this industry, which is why you see their projects die, which is 99% of the time. Most projects don't even last 3 months in this market.
Yeah, it's more sophistication. And like I always say, it's strategic, and a lot of our top holders message me saying like, thank you for being strategic and not, I always say it's kind of like a grand finale of a fireworks show. When people get these huge budgets, they just like spend it all at the first week and then hope that they have people, but that's the pump and dump situation. But it creates that perpetual need for developers to then give up, because like Mike said, they run out of money, they don't raise enough, they don't know how to raise enough, they don't know how to get eyeballs on them. And it's not everybody, but it's
more than 99,
it's more than 99.8%.
Yeah. So anyway, Tuesday, join us or catch the replays as soon as you can afterwards, because it should be vividly clear once you see the structure, how VPAD will directly increase the value of Vetter, not just short term, but long term as well. Like it is very directly tied. It is the highest form of marketing that you can apply when you develop a whole ecosystem that brings in a whole new audience of people daily, leveraging other people's money. You got to understand that these launch pads are so successful, not at just bringing in massive revenue, which is going to be shared with those that own VPAD and Vetter, by the way. Join us Tuesday for the details on that. It's not just about the profit sharing for those that own VPAD and Vetter, but it's also about the massive free marketing. When people post and launch their projects on a launch pad, they now get, they raise a bunch of money and they advertise on PooCoin, they advertise on CoinGecko, they advertise, they promote on all these projects, I should say, DEX tools, they advertise everywhere, and they have networks across Telegram groups, and they have armies of people that start shilling that project. They're directing them to the launch pad. And this is happening day in and day out all across the industry. And all of these projects are linking into Vetter. It is the smartest move that most people would not be able to pull off, because they wouldn't be able to develop one of the best launch pads in the market. So just understand, this is marketing, this is the hard stuff. And this is what allows not just short-term massive value boost to Vetter, but long-term exponential growth to Vetter. So join us Tuesday for more details on that. I won't be able to get into that aspect of it, so I just wanted to underscore it's the free advertising and marketing on a massive scale. We're talking millions of dollars of free advertising and marketing from the biggest influencers in the industry, constantly directing people to VPAD, Launchpad, which will direct people in every case to the Vetter calendar. So anyway, hopefully that crystallizes for you, and some of you can help me out when you see people go, win marketing, why aren't you focusing on Vetter? It's like, okay. help me out, help explain to them that this is the highest form of marketing. Any questions or anything on any topic at all, please go ahead and chime in. Go ahead and, I don't know if you can unmute yourself and just go ahead and share, go ahead. And if not, we'll look for the hands raised, but go ahead and unmute
Hi,
yourself.
this is Kim.
Hey, Kim, yeah, go ahead.
I was able to log into the G app yesterday and connect my MetaMask wallet, but today when I log in and click on it, nothing is happening.
So Jeremy might be the best one to kind of give you a suggestion. I mean, my best suggestion, and Jeremy, are you here in case my suggestion isn't helpful?
One of my queries though is, are you sure you're in the BSC network? Because sometimes it switches to ETH network.
Oh, it may have switched. I didn't check that.
Sometimes mine does.
Okay, can you try it right now, Kim?
Yeah, just a second.
Yeah, go ahead and give it a shot and just make sure you're connected to the right wallet that you got, go to MetaMask and open up the wallet that
The
you
right
have the Vetter
network,
in it.
yeah.
And then confirm it's on the BSC network, because sometimes that does switch. And then I was going to also suggest hit refresh on the DApp
Okay.
before you try to connect again. Hit refresh. And while Kim's doing that, anyone have a question? Kim, we'll check in with you here again and see if that doesn't work. We'll do something else.
Hey, Mike. I just had a quick question about the scout ranks.
Yes.
So what I notice is when like I get something get a vote in like a longer term, like 7-day or 30-day, it doesn't affect but my main score. But so I was just curious if it goes by like the first 5 votes on one thing.
Hey, Paul, I can answer that. So it's not the first 5 votes, period. It's the total score is caps at 5 points that it can affect your scout score. So if you get 100 votes and they're all positive, the most it can affect your scouting score is 5 points. So if you had, 50 up votes and 50 down votes, and the net result of that is 0 points, then there's no effect on your scout score. If there's slightly more down votes, then that would take away from your scout score, but that's also capped at a total of -5. So the other durations, like the 30-day, the overall, they have higher weighting. But if you've already got the maximum effect of voting, it's not going to continue adding to your scout score. You have to have multiple projects that are doing well in order to advance your scout score.
Gotcha. The only reason I'm trying to figure it out is, like, since obviously 24 hours gets voted, but before like 24, 30, I mean, 7-day and 30-day. If you post like a project that doesn't do well in 24 hours and max that 5 votes, and then in the 24 hour or the 30-day it ends up doing well, what would that prevent your what would that first 5 votes for 24 hours cause your score to go your main score to go down?
So what happens is, even if you had some bad votes in the 24-hour period, a number of positive votes in the 30-day period will end up bringing that total result back up to positive again. So it can affect your score. So let's say you were at -10 in the 24-hour period. You'd need a number of positive votes in a later period to get back to the point where you're within that ±5 category. Eventually you'll get back to 0, and eventually you can actually start getting more positive points, up to 5 points, when it swings in the other direction, because there's higher weight on those later categories. So it's looking at the total score, a completely weighted score, and then it caps it at ±5. So you just have to have, and you don't need as many votes, by the way, in the later durations, because it's considered better to have good projects long term, not just quick gains. So there's a little bit more weighting towards those longer durations. So it doesn't take as many positive votes to overcome a negative score on a project if it does turn around and do well in a later period. So again, it's not the first 5 votes, it's the score that those votes represent.
Okay. So it kind of has some type of algorithm, but where it just like goes, you got this many votes, what's the average? Did your score overall go up or down pretty much?
Right. Yeah, there's a whole calculation behind it. So you can switch from negative to positive or vice versa, depending upon how the voting goes in later periods.
Okay. Thanks for clearing that up for me.
Yeah, no problem. Let's go back to Kim. Did you end up being able
Yeah,
to connect
Kim,
with
were you
them?
able to connect?
Yes, I was. Thank you. All I had
Okay,
to do was refresh.
Okay, real good.
Oh,
real good.
nice,
Awesome.
nice.
Yeah,
We've got a
just a
meeting
quick-
coming up in 8 minutes,
Yeah, I
FYI.
know. Thank you. Yeah. And just a quick reminder to those that are kind of new to using Web3 tools, that connect wallets and stuff. If you ever have an issue, first step is just hit refresh and then try it to connect your wallet. If you're still having an issue, I think the very next step I would take, as long as you're making sure you're on the Binance Smart Chain network, of course, the next step, if the refresh doesn't work, is restart your computer. Like if you haven't restarted your computer for a long time, sometimes it's just it's something on your end, on your computer's end, and that could get it to work. That's kind of the easiest fix. Sarah, you had written something, and I don't know if it was to me or not, so I just wanted to make sure. You said we were going to talk about a regular schedule for longer calls. Was that directed to me about?
Yeah, you just said that if you knew by Friday, you might announce if there would be if there was a regular schedule for the longer discussions.
Right.
You just
So
mentioned that. So
yeah, so for those who like the longer formats to really dive deep, because some people don't. Like some people just to sit and to analyze and to review, it's just they just can't or don't have the time to do that. But some people like myself really appreciate diving deep and really learning things fast, and going over projects on the calendar and really diving into different aspects of things. Those that like the longer durations, for the most part, you'll need to be in the Discord for that. And I understand not everybody wants to pay to be in the Discord, but you have to understand that that's what we charge, for the very reason that the people that are willing to pay for good collaboration tend to be people that are great collaborators. And it's not, and anyone that's using the Vetter calendar can easily quickly make way beyond that amount of money to afford the small membership fee. It's just a way to weed out a lot of the people that just aren't good collaborators and aren't interested in that kind of thing. That can be even very disruptive, because it's just very effective that way. So that's why we are mostly having the longer duration calls with those in the Discord. Now, that doesn't mean we won't often open them up to those in the Telegram support group as well. We will from time to time, but mainly we'll be offering those in the Discord. Now, Sarah, I don't have an exact schedule yet. However, I have made the intention that we're going to have them bi-weekly. So twice a week, we will have the long duration calls, and I will see if I can lock in those times. I kind of want to move them around in case people can't attend the times I set them for. And then I might, if I move them around like from week to week, then they can jump into some of the other ones. You're going to find, guys, that, if you were on the long duration call, the long format call we did earlier today, you might be overwhelmed. It's like, wow, for those that missed it, we covered a really in-depth look at, in fact, I'll share my screen and pull something up here just to really drive this point home and hopefully put some of you concerns to rest that might have felt overwhelmed by that, or overwhelmed in general by this process of vetting projects and stuff. So we went over in really nuanced detail a review of MetaRealm, which is on the calendar. For those that didn't catch that, I will share the replay. We're not recommending you invest into it. We're not recommending you don't. We wanted to point out some concerns and issues that increase the level of risk for this project. It doesn't mean it won't be successful, because as we pointed out, there are so many projects that people make money in a 24-hour time frame and sometimes more, just because even though the developers of the project have no intention of really doing anything with it, and we're not saying that that's definitely the case here, but there are red flags that that's possible. But even in the case where that is the situation, where they don't have an intention to actually develop the project, you're still seeing many cases where investors make money because so many investors pile into it and drive the price up before it's obvious that they're not actually developing anything. And again, we can't know for sure that the developers behind this don't have an intention to develop anything, but we went into a really deep dive, long format review of this. And if you felt overwhelmed by that, I just want you to understand, and this is what I'll circle back around to Sarah's question about our meetups. I just want you to know that if you can't attend all of the long format calls, but you're able to connect from time to time in the long format calls, initially, you will feel overwhelmed if you're new. Initially, there'll be so much that you feel like you need to learn, like we talked about in this one. We talked about, one of the clues that this is perhaps on the gimmicky side and not on delivering substance side is they used a lot of buzzwords like multi-chain and even this MMORPG, which, I just learned today, from Jeremy going over this, what that means. A lot of times these are new terms for me too, that I'm learning every day. And then we also talked about, I don't know, there was cross-chain and there was multi-chain. There was a lot of buzzwords that they used, and we talked about what some of those things were. If you're new, it's going to overwhelm you. Just understand that if you're connecting on the long format calls from time to time, not all of them, just the ones you can here and there, you're going to start to hear the same themes and same buzzwords come up as we analyze different projects, even across different industries. This was within the metaverse, but you're even going to see similarities when we talk about NFTs. You're going to see the same terms like multi-chain or cross-chain. So what may seem overwhelming on one or two or three calls that you plug into, pretty soon you're going to hear the same things over and over again, and you're going to start to get it. And you're going to know what the terms mean. And you're also going to know the process that we use to vet projects. And you're also going to learn about tools. I keep wanting to connect with you guys on the tools out there like Market Move. Some of you were gracious enough to show us how to use Market Move on one of the recent calls and to analyze contracts. I want to return to that. We're not going to be able to do it today. I keep wanting to do that. I really want to dive into that. There's so many things, but the same things are going to come up, the same themes, the same process, the same buzzwords that were once confusing to you. What felt like an overwhelming process, like if you listened to today's call, maybe it was an overwhelming, analysis of this project, will start to become clear to you because it's the same kind of questions and critical thinking and process we apply to all of these projects. So again, if you're in the Discord and you like the long formats, but you do feel overwhelmed or you feel like a lot of this is outside of your, what and you're hearing about terms and words that are new to you, just understand you don't need to attend all of the long format sessions. Just you attend the ones that you can from time to time, and you're gonna get it. You're gonna hear the same buzzwords. You're gonna hear the same terms. You're gonna see the same process. You're gonna understand how to apply all of that knowledge to the crypto world as this industry continues to evolve and develop. And it's gonna be a miraculous, valuable skill and knowledge base that you'll gain very, very quickly without having to attend them all. So just keep that in mind, because I can understand when I was first new to this, it was so overwhelming. And I'm still learning new terms like I did today when Jeremy went over this, MMORPG, has to do with I still don't know what it is, but I know what it has to do with. It has to do with, the most advanced games that you're seeing. And how would you describe that in a better way, Jeremy? You mentioned it today was the first time that I heard reference to it.
I mean, they added an M in front of it to stand for metaverse, but MMORPGs are just massive multiplayer games where you have, hundreds and hundreds of people all within the same world.
It's time for our meeting, guys.
Okay, time for our meeting. Thanks, guys. Again, we'll get better at packing more into these shorter time frames as we go along here. To answer Sarah, just to make sure I answer your question, then we'll end this. I haven't announced the dates yet. I'll probably move them around, but sometime this weekend, I will share what the planned dates are for the long duration calls this coming week. I'll have 2 of them a week. And each week I'll announce them. We'll see how that works. I just kind of want to move them around and get people's feedback to make sure that we're giving everyone a chance to attend, because people are in different time zones and, have different schedules and stuff. So look for that, and we'll definitely do 2 a week.
Thank you so much. See you there.
Absolutely. Awesome. Looking forward to it. All right, guys, that's a wrap. Don't forget Tuesday, 6 o'clock Pacific, 9 Eastern, 10-minute lightning round going over the private cell for VPAD. And I think if anyone's wondering, how does VPAD help grow Vetter in a big way, that should clarify it on Tuesday. All right, guys. See you guys soon. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Bye-bye, everybody.